the door opened, and the face that Alex had never expected was standing in front of him. His breath stopped, his lips dried, and it seemed as if time had stopped right there. Emma, you. Alex. 4 years of divorce, 4 years of distance, 4 years of silence, all melted in a moment and hit the door. The pizza box was shaking in Alex's hand, and there were questions in Emma's eyes. That night, cold rain in London was pounding the windows relentlessly. The light of the yellow streetlights on the streets was breaking into puddles of water. Cold wind, light mist, and people running under umbrellas. The city looked tired. Alex was passing through that wet street on his bicycle, a bag of pizza on his back and a wet helmet on his head. His breath was coming out like smoke in the cold air. He, the man who once used to sit in a bank wearing a suit, was today struggling to deliver pizza in the rain. His hands were shaking despite the gloves. Only one question was echoing in his mind. Why did life bring me to this crossroads, and that very night? His fate brought him to Emma's door. Alex's fingers were still shaking. He put the pizza box on the table, but he could neither make eye contact with Emma nor control his heartbeat. Emma said in a low voice, "You are wet. Sit down." Alex hesitantly pulled the chair. His jacket was wet. Water was dripping from his hair. Emma immediately brought a towel from the kitchen and placed it in front of him. "All this was not necessary," Alex mumbled. Emma kept looking at him. All those years were flashing in her eyes, college laughter, first day of marriage, moments spent together. And then those bitter arguments, tears, and the stamp of divorce. The silence was becoming heavy. Finally, Emma spoke. "Alex, you're here in this condition? How did all this happen?" Alex took a deep breath, as if the burden on his chest wanted to burst out. "Everything fell apart after the divorce, Emma. I lost my job. My friends turned their backs on me. I was left alone. And when a person is left alone, he gets the work that no one else wants to do." Emma's eyes filled up with tears. "Why did you never tell me for years? And you didn't call me even once." Alex looked at her. There was pain in his eyes. "You said that you wanted to remove me from your life completely. I wanted to respect your decision. But to tell you the truth, every night I longed to hear your voice." Silence spread in the room. The rain outside had become even more intense, as if the clouds had also joined in the pain of both of them. Emma said in a trembling voice, "Alex, I also thought that everything would be fine with a divorce, but I too did not get peace. Every time I felt as if something was incomplete." Alex bowed his head. His cheeks were wet with tears, which could not be hidden between the rain and sweat. "I am incomplete, Emma. You broke me, and I am still trying to pick up the pieces." Emma's breathing became fast. She grabbed the edge of the chair and said, "Were we really wrong, Alex? Or did circumstances make us wrong?" Alex stared into her eyes. He felt as if for the first time in 4 years, Emma was really sitting in front of him, without any hatred, without any anger. But at that very moment, Emma's phone screen lit up on the table. An unknown name flashed on the screen. Alex's eyes fell on it, and the old fear returned in his heart. Is there someone else in Emma's life now? Emma's phone was vibrating repeatedly on the table. The same name was flashing on the screen. Daniel. Alex's eyes got stuck on that name. It was as if something was stuck in her throat. Emma immediately turned the phone upside down. "Sorry, just an office call." Alex tried to laugh, but her smile was broken from within. "Office call. 10:30 p.m. Emma lowered her eyelids. "You still doubt my words?" Alex's heart started beating fast. She felt as if the same argument from 4 years ago had returned again. Memories started flashing in her mind. Emma coming home late, talking to someone on the phone for hours, and Alex asking questions anxiously. He took a deep breath and said, "Emma, I still don't know why our relationship broke up. You never told me the reasons clearly. You just told me one day that you wanted to separate from me." And I broke down. Emma's eyes filled up with tears. She hid her face with trembling hands. "Alex, the truth is that at that time, I didn't even know what I wanted. Responsibilities, your career, my restlessness. Everything together had become a fire inside me. I wanted to run away, and I chose the easiest way, divorce." Alex kept listening silently. His eyes were shining like raindrops. "So today, after so many years, You have come to tell me that it was all a mistake? Emma raised her head. Yes, it was a mistake. But now everything has changed. On hearing this, it was as if a heavy stone fell on Alex's chest. It has changed. That means there is someone else in your life now? Emma didn't say anything. Her silence was her answer. Alex's fingers tightened on the table. His breathing became faster. The silence in the room was now turning into a strange fear. Outside, the rain was beating on the windows, as if the city too was feeling the uneasiness of that moment. Finally, Emma whispered, Daniel is not just a friend. Alex's lips quivered, pushed his chair back and stood up. So why am I? Why am I here, Emma? Why did you reopen the biggest wound of my life? Emma grabbed his wrist. Tears welled up in her eyes. Because, Alex, there is a secret I never told you, and today, maybe for the first time, you should know the truth. Silence settled in the room. Outside, the rain in London had intensified, the patter of drops on the windows and the whistling of the wind deepening the silence of the room. Alex's eyebrows furrowed. Secret. What kind of secret, Emma? Emma took a deep breath, as if her words were stuck in her throat. Her green eyes were trembling, and fear was clearly visible on her lips. That divorce, that sudden decision. It wasn't just my anxiety, Alex. There was a reason behind it, which I hid from you. Alex's heart began to pound. So tell me the truth, Emma. Why did you break me? Why did you leave me? Emma looked into his eyes, then spoke softly. That's when I found out that I had cancer. Alex's breath stopped upon hearing this. Cancer? Rolled down Emma's eyes. Yes. I was diagnosed with lung cancer. The doctor said that I probably don't have much time left. I didn't want to burden you. Your career, your dreams. Everything would be at stake if you got tied to me. I fought, increased the distance, so that you would leave me. Alex's eyes filled up. He sat on the chair and started running his hands through his hair. Emma, you faced all this alone and kept me in the dark. Emma spoke tremblingly. I couldn't see you breaking down, Alex. I didn't want to see the disappointment in your eyes. That's why I made divorce my shield. And Daniel. He is actually the doctor who is treating me, the only doctor. Alex held her hands. Her hands were cold, like ice. Emma. Oh my God, you kept me away from such a big truth, Emma cried. I didn't want you to give up your world for me. I wanted you to move on, be happy, without me. Tears welled up in Alex's eyes. Happy, Emma. How could I be happy without you? These 4 years were a punishment for me. Worse than death. Emma pressed his palm and whispered, I am still alive, Alex. ... But I don't know for how many more days. The doctors are saying that there is hope, but the road is long and difficult. The room was now filled with the sound of their cries. The rain outside had started to stop, but the storm inside both their hearts was refusing to stop. Alex was still holding her hand. There were tears in his eyes, but his voice had become firm. Emma, enough is enough. For 4 years, I cursed myself for no reason, punished myself. But now, I will not leave you alone, no matter what. Emma jerked her hand away. No, Alex, please. I cannot push you back into that darkness. I have only given you pain till date. If you join me again, then this fight will become yours too. I don't want you to break down again. Alex looked straight into her eyes. Emma, I am already broken. Without you, I am an incomplete person. If I have to suffer pain by being with you, then at least that pain will make me feel alive. Like it is better than loneliness. Emma's eyelids were heavy with tears. She said in a low voice, Do you even have any idea how difficult this journey is? Chemotherapy, day and night in the hospital, fear of what will happen tomorrow. Alex, none of this is easy. Alex held her face in both his hands. Easy, Emma. If love was easy, we would never have parted. True love is difficult. I want to be with you on this difficult journey. Emma's green eyes drowned in Alex's blue eyes. For a moment, it was as if time had stopped. The rain had stopped on the road outside, but the cold breeze coming from the window was still touching both of them. Emma pressed her lips, then said softly, Alex, what if I lose? Alex answered without hesitation, Then I will hold your hand and stay with you till my last breath. On hearing this, Emma started crying. Her head rested on Alex's shoulder. The gap of 4 years vanished in a moment. Both of them remained silent for some time. Then Emma said softly, "You have changed, Alex." The old Alex did not have this much courage. Alex smiled lightly. Perhaps 4 years of loneliness were my greatest training. There was no silence in the room now. That silence was now turning into hope. But then Emma's phone vibrated again. This time, she picked up the call. "Yes, Dr. Daniel. I'll be there tomorrow morning." Alex looked at her. There was no jealousy in his eyes, just a strong conviction. "I'll also go with you tomorrow." Emma shook her head nervously. "No, Alex. You can't leave the delivery. Your job." Alex interrupted her. "You'll get your job back, Emma. But if I lose you, I will never forgive myself." Emma kept looking into his eyes. There was no fear, no hesitation, only love and determination. The next morning, the London sky was still foggy and cold. Alex stopped his old motorcycle and got Emma off the pillion. They stood in front of the hospital, building white walls, glass windows, and the hustle and bustle inside. Emma's face had turned pale. Her steps froze. "Alex, I'm scared." Alex immediately held her hand and smiled softly. "Don't be afraid. This is the fight you were meant to win. And I'm with you now." Emma looked into his eyes. There was really no fear there. She took a deep breath and went inside with him. After signing in at the reception, they had to cross a long corridor. Emma's eyes filled with tears as she looked at the pictures on the walls, children's smiles, the colors of hope. "Will I ever smile like that, Alex?" she asked softly. Without wasting a moment, Alex said, "Yes," and with an even more beautiful smile, Emma smiled lightly for the first time. The consultation room, Dr. Daniel opened the file. "Emma, your reports are critical. Chemotherapy has to start immediately. It won't be easy. There will be pain, weakness, hair loss. But if you stay strong, chances are in your favor." Emma lowered her eyelids. Her hands were trembling. Alex gently held her hand and said, running his fingers over her palm, "We will face all this together. You are not alone." The doctor looked at Alex, then at Emma. "He's right, Emma. In battles like these, support means half the cure." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "But Alex, you will be hurt seeing my condition." Alex immediately lifted her face. "It won't hurt to see your condition, Emma. It would hurt if I wasn't with you." Silence fell in the room. Understanding their silence, the doctor just nodded and said, "Treatment starts tomorrow." That night, Alex stayed at Emma's flat. The rain had started again outside. Emma was standing near the window. Her shadow was emerging on the glass. "Alex, what if I am not the same after tomorrow?" Alex came from behind, put a jacket on her shoulder and said, "Then I will accept you in a new form. I want Emma, not her hair. I want her laughter. I want her breath. I want her company." Emma turned and smiled through her tears as she looked into his eyes. The distance of 4 years had been erased. Now only tomorrow's fight was left. The next morning, a little sunlight was coming in through the large windows of the hospital, but the cold air of London was still making people shiver. Emma was sitting in a wheelchair. Preparations were being made to put an IV drip in her hands. Alex was next to her, holding her palm. Emma's face was clearly showing tension. She looked at Alex and whispered, "Alex, I am scared. I won't be able to bear all this." Alex gently squeezed her hand. "You don't even have to bear it, Emma. We both will get through this together. Pain is halved when shared, and I will take half of your pain." Emma's eyes filled with tears. The nurse gave the injection. Cold medicine started entering her veins. Emma pressed her lips together. Her breathing became fast. "Alex, it is burning. It is burning a lot." Alex immediately held her forehead, looked into her eyes and said, "Look at me, Emma. Just look into my eyes. This pain will pass. You are strong. You will win." Emma's attention was diverted a little. Her breathing slowly started becoming normal. She sat on the chair for hours. At times Emma would groan in confusion. Sweat would appear on her forehead. Sometimes her hands would shake. Sometimes her lips would start cracking. But Alex did not move away from her chair even for a moment. He would give her water, stroke her hair, and repeat the same words again and again. "I am here. I am not going anywhere." When the first session ended, Emma was completely exhausted. Her eyes were closed, but there was a soft voice on her lips. "Thanks, Alex." Alex whispered while placing his hand on her eyes. No, Emma. Don't say thank you. It's my right. That night, when Emma returned home, her hair had started falling. Standing in front of the mirror and touching her hair, she broke down and looked at Alex. This is not me, Alex. I am not Emma anymore. Alex went behind her and looked at her reflection in the mirror and said smilingly, Wrong. You are the same Emma, whom I loved. Not the hair, Emma. Your eyes, your laughter, your soul. This is Emma. Emma laughed while crying. That night she realized for the first time that illness is not only of the body, the mind tries to break it. But Alex was not letting her break. Many weeks of treatment, many tearful, sleepless nights, countless times, I felt like giving up. But every time someone held Emma, it was none other than Alex. Now Emma had slowly recovered. Her hair had fallen, her face was full of fatigue, but there was a new glow in her eyes. One morning Emma opened the window. Outside was the same cold rain of London, but this time Emma's breath was light. She turned back and looked at Alex. Alex. Her voice was soft but strong. If you had not come to my door that night, then perhaps I would have given up on life. Alex smiled and said, Sometimes life brings us back to the place from where we run away. Perhaps the path of my delivery was destined to reach your door. Emma's eyes filled with tears. Our relationship was broken, but humanity united us. Alex gently held her hand and said, No, Emma. The relationship was never broken. We both just lost our way. Emma smiled. For the first time she laughed heartily amidst her tears. She hugged Alex. The rain outside had become more intense. But for Emma, that rain was no longer cold. It was the feeling of a new life. Sometimes life teaches us who is really with us only by making us fall. The story of Alex and Emma is proof that love is not just in memories. It can also become the courage to overcome every difficulty. Friends, if this story has touched your heart, then definitely share it with others. Like, share, and comment. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to the channel to hear more such heart-touching stories. Your one small click gives us the strength to create more such stories.